The entry drowning in my new dictionary of astrology by Ciro Discepolo. Drowning tradition, in this case the Gouchon, indicates the following items related to death by drowning. One or more indications of violent death in conjunction with 1. Predominance of water signs in general, and especially with regard to the 8th and 1st houses. 2. Significators of death in water signs or afflicted by planets that predispose to death by drowning, i.e. Saturn, Jupiter, or the moon in poor celestial states. 3. The ascendant in the first decan of Pisces. 4. The ascendant afflicted by the moon, Saturn, Uranus, or Neptune, especially if these stars are in water signs, or the ascendant strongly afflicted by planets in water signs. 5. 8th house influenced by the moon, Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter in poor celestial state or master of the 8th in poor aspect to the moon or Saturn. 6. Malefics or luminaries in Scorpio, or strong afflictions threatening the ascendant and therefore the sign itself. 7. Saturn in the 3rd house in a water sign. To these we would add 8, wherever you just read 8th house, also add 11th house. 9. Neptune in poor aspect to Mars. 10. Neptune in poor aspect to Uranus. 11. Neptune in poor aspect to Saturn. Let's now look at some practical cases. Subject 1 is Antonio Bisaglia, born in Rovigo on March 31, 1929 at 4 p.m. and drowned on June 24, 1984. In this case, the Sun-Uranus conjunction in the 8th house, squared to Mars, amply supports the hypothesis of a violent death. There is no predominance of water signs, but rather that of fire signs, equally so with earth signs. In his dictionary, Gouchon cites a very small statistic based on 11 cases, which shows that immediately after the water signs in cases of drowning, fire signs are more present, and this is because they correspond more closely to violent deaths. For the same subject, we should note that the ruler of the 8th house, Mars, is opposed to Saturn, and that the dominant of the chart is Neptune. Françoise and Michel Gauquelin have demonstrated that a star is still very strong, even 15 degrees above the ascendant. Chart 2 corresponds to the brother of subject 1, specifically the priest Mario Bisaglia, Stanghella, Padua, 20 August 1917, 11 p.m., who was found drowned under mysterious circumstances on the 15th of August 1992. Here, too, Uranus, in the 11th house, in bad aspect to the Sun and Pluto, suggests the possibility of a violent death. Saturn, one of the two lords of the 8th house, is closely conjunct to Neptune, which is lord of the 11th house. Chart 3 concerns the comedian Marcello Marchesi, Milan, April 4, 1912, 7 a.m., who drowned on July 19, 1978. Neptune and the 12th house, co-significant of Pisces, are the dominants of the chart. Neptune itself rules the 11th, and the other ruler of this sector is Saturn, which is in the 1st house near the ascendant, and forms an opposition to Saturn. Subject 4 is Vincenzo Messina, husband of actress Lydia Alfonsi, who drowned on August 14, 1984. He was born in Syracuse on December 24, 1935. The dominant Mars could, in itself, be a clue to a violent death. Neptune is on the cusp of the 11th in a sesquiquadrate to Uranus. Reading this in hindsight, we would have no difficulty correcting this birth time to place Neptune in the 11th. The moon, which rules the 8th, is square to Saturn. Chart 5 refers to a current event and concerns Pietro Boscaini, April 22, 1947 in Rome, 8:25 a.m., who drowned freediving on June 30th, 1973. The Sun and Moon are in the 12th house. Mars, ruler of the 11th, is in close opposition to Neptune, another ruler of the 11th. Chart 6, committed suicide by drowning. Lucio Mastronardi of Vigevano, Pavia, June 28, 1930, 3:30 a.m., died in May 1979. We see a strong concentration of planets in Cancer and Uranus in the 11th sesquiquadrat Neptune. Finally, Chart 7, Frederick of Prussia, Potsdam, December 19, 1911, at 10 p.m., who committed suicide by drowning in the Rhine on April 19, 1966. The dominant of the chart is Mars, which rules the 8th house. We note strong Cancer values due to co-significance, 3 stars in the 4th, and Neptune, lord of the 11th and ruler of the 8th, in opposition to Uranus.